In the book of Ecclesiastes, King Solomon shares his reflections on life's mysteries and the fleeting nature of human existence. As we delve into chapter 11, verse 4, it becomes clear that understanding this particular passage requires some context. Ecclesiastes is often misunderstood as a pessimistic treatise on the meaninglessness of life. However, Solomon's words are more nuanced than they initially seem. He acknowledges that life can be unpredictable and that we must adapt to its twists and turns. Throughout this chapter, Solomon offers practical advice on how to navigate life's uncertainties. He reminds us that our days are numbered and that it's essential to make the most of the time we have. As he writes in verse 4, "He hath made everything beautiful in his time." This phrase can be seen as a call to trust in God's timing, even when circumstances seem chaotic. As we explore Ecclesiastes 11:4 further, we'll examine what Solomon means by his time and how this concept relates to our own lives. We'll also look at the significance of beauty in the midst of life's challenges and why it's essential to cultivate a sense of wonder. Our discussion will be centered around one key idea: finding meaning and purpose in a world that often seems uncertain. Join me as we unravel the wisdom of Ecclesiastes 11:4 and discover how it can inspire us to live more intentionally, trusting in God's perfect timing. Biblical context and key passages. The phrase, "Do not be afraid," appears throughout the Bible as a reminder of God's presence and promise to guide us through life's uncertainties. In Ecclesiastes 11:4, Solomon writes that everything has been made beautiful in its time, echoing this idea of trusting in God's timing. One of the most significant passages that echoes "do not be afraid" is Deuteronomy 31:6, where Moses reminds the Israelites that they are not alone and that God will go before them. This promise is repeated in Joshua 1:9, where God instructs Joshua to be strong and courageous, assuring him of victory. Another passage that speaks to this idea is Isaiah 41, where God declares, "Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God." This verse reassures us that we are not alone in our struggles, and that God's presence can calm even the most turbulent of circumstances. The Bible is filled with reminders to trust in God's sovereignty and timing. Key passages like Deuteronomy 31:6, Joshua 1:9, and Isaiah 41 emphasize God's presence and promise to guide us through uncertainty. Meaning and key themes in Ecclesiastes 11:4, King Solomon writes that he hath made everything beautiful in his time. This phrase can be seen as a call to trust in God's timing, even when circumstances seem chaotic. The concept of beauty is central to this idea, suggesting that even in difficult times, there is always something to be appreciated and found lovely. One way to understand Solomon's words is to consider the idea of beauty as not just physical or external, but also spiritual and internal. When we face challenges, it can be easy to lose sight of what truly matters. However, by focusing on the beauty within ourselves, our relationships, and our circumstances, we can find a sense of peace and contentment. The phrase "in his time" is also crucial to understanding Solomon's message. It suggests that God's timing is not always immediate or linear, but rather cyclical and often unseen. This idea requires us to trust in God's plan, even when it doesn't make sense to our human minds. Ultimately, Ecclesiastes 11:4 encourages us to adopt a wait-and-see approach, trusting that God is working everything out for our good, even if we can't see the bigger picture. By doing so, we can find freedom from anxiety and fear, knowing that we are not in control, but rather under God's loving care. Practical application today. So how can we apply this passage to our lives today? For one, it's essential to recognize the interconnectedness of all things. As Solomon writes, God is weaving everything together, in His time. This idea should give us a sense of awe and wonder at the intricate web of relationships and events that shape our world. Another practical takeaway from Ecclesiastes 11:4 is the importance of embracing impermanence. We often try to cling to things that are fleeting, but Solomon reminds us that everything has its season. By acknowledging this reality, we can learn to let go of what's holding us back and focus on what truly matters. Practice mindfulness by focusing on the present moment and trusting in God's sovereignty over time. Cultivate a sense of gratitude for the beauty that exists even in challenging circumstances. Liberate yourself from anxiety and fear by embracing the wait-and-see approach, trusting in God's perfect timing. In conclusion, as we conclude our exploration of Ecclesiastes 11:4, it's clear that Solomon's words are a reminder to trust in God's sovereignty and timing. By embracing the wait-and-see approach, we can find freedom from anxiety and fear, knowing that God is working everything out for our good. The concept of beauty is central to this idea, suggesting that even in difficult times, there is always something to be appreciated and found lovely. This mindset allows us to focus on the present moment and trust in God's plan, rather than trying to control every aspect of our lives. As we move forward, let us strive to cultivate a sense of awe and wonder at the intricate web of relationships and events that shape our world. By embracing impermanence and trusting in God's sovereignty, we can live more intentionally, waiting for His perfect timing and finding beauty in every season.